Yeah, this moderation stuff. What up? What up? What up? The bus actually is pretty cool. Um, I think I might get even cozier if you guys don't mind. With a lily over here. Huh. Mm. Ooh, well, uh, that's what I felt. I just pulled a tick off my dog. Um, we're good now. Now we can start the show. Now we can start the show. I'm live in the bus. Boop, hanging out. Uh, let's dispose of this tick. And then there's a little tour. We got the TV. All right, we're good now. So I just wanted to come on live to just talk about some things. I guess the current state of the fam, what I'm up to, uh, things of that nature. So Cole. Ha. What up? Okay. You know, the thing about Cole is that Cole's an Aquarius. I expect Aquarius to do better, right? Um, just the whole "I'm the best rapper alive" thing, that's all the bars are about. It doesn't really talk about anything else besides how he's the best MC and that he bodies all the rappers, and then when it's time to, like, stand on business, nigga's not standing on business. So, um, and realistically, nigga put the whole diss album out, and realistically, if it was fire, I think he would've kept it out. Cole has stuff to say until 2020. I can agree with that. I can agree with that. You know what? I can actually really agree with that. Cause you listen to Cole's earlier stuff, he he's not like a Lupe or Black Thought, like the things he even brought up in the interview. Um, but he's he wasn't a Lil Pump, right? We can say that and all that. So he wasn't like the wokest rapper, but he wasn't like the mumble rapper. He was like a good rapper. Like right there in the middle, right? Um, Now I feel it's like I just I can't get behind anyone who does stand on business and then raps about it. It's like 6ix9ine to me. It's like, "I'm a hard gangster rapper." It's like, "Bro, we seen you get robbed, we seen you get beat up at a LA Fitness, seen you get kidnapped, we seen you snitch on the stand and tell on everybody, even if they were the niggas who kidnapped you." Like, if you's a hard gangster rapper, you're not supposed to do that. If you're a civilian Danny boy, then it's a different story. And that's the same thing with Gunna and Thug. And you know what? This actually brought us Jid too. I can respect that. Um, this brings this actually works. It actually ties everything in. Um, because our imagination isn't reality. And as an artist even, like, what happens is we get the fame from our imagination, right? So let's say, Vince McMahon even, or Lil Pump, excuse, J. Cole, um, 6ix9ine, right? That's the last one I was looking for. So when that's the case, we create these characters and we go, "Oh, what's up? What's up? What's up? Um, how do you?" I'm new to this. It says "say hi." I thought you just press on the button, like in Instagram. But y'all can let me know how this works. I'm new to the YouTube live thing in this format, pretty much. So we create these characters that we live in our head, but then when we people see us in like in person, they see us as this character, right? So the equivalent Dwight in The Office, right? Oh, his name is like Rainn Wilson or something like that, right? Um, where'd you get the sweater from? I actually made it. These are my own clothes. So free water gear. I'll send you guys the link. Um, or you can send me a message. I'll just send you guys. I'll start sending people just like stuff, let me know your sizes. And I'm not gonna do this for everybody, clearly, but I appreciate the viewership as we just get started in this new platform and this new world and all that stuff. Um, People don't, um us as the audience, right? Um, we can, like we said, call this person Dwight all the time when they're like, "I'm a thespian," or George Costanza, Jason Alexander, where it's like, "Oh, you're George from Seinfeld, you're Dwight from The Office, you're J. Cole, the best rapper alive, you're 6ix9ine, the gangster with the rainbow hair," right? You are this person, and it's like, no, I'm not. That's actually a character I created and put that out in the world, right? But us as people, we see them as that. And this is where this hear me out. This is where consciousness is having a hard time. And you wanna know why? Is because a movie is a movie, and this is what they were saying. Well, Young Thug, raps about this, and it's the same as being in an action movie. It's not the same as being in the action movie because we know Arnold Schwarzenegger isn't actually the Terminator, right? We sign up when we're in the movie theater, we know we're being transported to a different world as an audience, right? Yet, if I'm listening to an artist, right, I am connecting to them because I feel that it's real. And the artist portrays that it's real, right? You know who the best example of that is? Eminem. Eminem in his early songs were so conservative, allied to LGBT, committed gun censorship, but now as Marshall, he's very, very liberal. Okay, so Eminem, hi kids, you like violence? You like to stick 9-inch nails in each one of my eyelids? You know? Um, I grew up and listening to Eminem, so that was a good um he had such an impact here in Russia. He had an impact, and imagine him being worldwide, right? So imagine if Eminem, this big fuck you in the face person, but thanks for joining, right? Uh, yo, I'm this, but was actually like kind of a square, like conservative. Like, oh, I don't even mean none of that shit. Not even a little bit. It's okay that we know you're not gonna stick 9-inch nails in each one of your eyelids. We kind of figured that one out. We don't think you're gonna do that. Yet, what if him rapping about his mom and rapping about growing up in the trailer park and his daughter and all that stuff was fake, right? What if the whole Stan story was fake? Right? What if, like, the whole him and Mariah and doing all this stuff, fake, 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 right? 100% fake. Like, he just comes out and he wasn't like, maybe it's real, maybe it's not. He's saying, yo, it's fake. I'm not even that person. I really enjoy golfing. I don't enjoy violent music. I don't do none of that in real life, you know? But realistically, when you hear about Eminem and let's say Tony Yayo, right? Eminem wore the free Tony Yayo shirt, stood on business, right? When Tony Yayo has this story about when Suge Knight came to the 50 Cent video shoot and Eminem was on the front lines like, yo, like let's go. We about to fight it out. I don't give a fuck, right? He's standing on business. Now, Plies, Jamie Foxx has a story where Plies, this gangster rapper from Florida, Suge pulled up or gangsters pulled up. Someone pulled up to the video shoot. This nigga was out of there. He skedaddled, right? But we're these hardcore gangster rappers. So it's funny because it's funny because when we think about it as an artist, right? Like, oh, this person didn't stand on business, they ran away. Like, what if 50 Cent said, I didn't get shot 9 times? That was all made up, you know. Um, my granny indeed did not get hit with a bazooka, right? So, right, that's what I'm saying is the difference from us as music versus us in the movie thing. We listen to the artist like, "Oh, fuck, this isn't necessarily an escape from reality, it's to connect and have someone to identify with in this reality," right? Do I believe in Jesus? Yeah, Big J, that's my homie, actually. Got a version of Jesus tattooed on me. Um But I believe in, you know, a lot of different forms of Jesus. Everyone has their own form. If you study religion, you know, I'm not here to say which one is the ultimate form, right? But there tends to be a Jesus figure in a lot of beliefs. Now, for instance, if we're going to bring Jesus, right? What if Jesus, the idea Jesus, whatever Jesus we believe in, baby Jesus, you know, grown Jesus, party Jesus, you know, with the tuxedo shirt. Hey, appreciate it. This one, that's from Danny Duncan. So if you guys, we're on YouTube, so you guys may know Danny Duncan. But yeah, these are from all the travels, and this is my art. It's really cool when you think about it, like, oh, this is like it's real, you know, um, like photos that I took and stuff. But let's say, what if Jesus didn't turn water into wine, right? I'm not saying that he didn't. I'm saying let's put ourselves in a hypothetical situation here, right? What if the whole Bible was fake? It was just like, yo, that was just a good book. That was just some good storytelling. I just made some shit up just 'cause. We may be a little hurt by that, right? Sure, the lessons could still be the same, right? Sure, we can still have the impact and learn this from, you know, Psalm, whatever number, uh, that can impact us in any way, right? Yet we enjoy believing in it because we enjoy believing that it is real, right? So if what if Jesus was real, right? I'm not saying Jesus isn't real or not. I'm saying in our hypothetical universe, we're 100% saying Jesus is real, right? Uh, and on a scale of 1 to 10, would I go to heaven? Imma give that a 12. Uh, um, so hear me out. Hear me out, right? So if Jesus was real, right? We're saying Jesus is real. And 1, what if Jesus was standing on business, right? What if you think Jesus would stand for a lot of things that are going on today, whether in the church or not, right? Now, what if Jesus, the person who made the Bible or the stories or whatever, you know, it's Jesus, right? What if they weren't real? What if you met Jesus and was like, they didn't stand on business at all. They were actually like an asshole. They weren't loving. They like they were just like, yeah, that's a character. Get out my face, kid. You know, they were like in the movie type shit. Like, you know, when they meet their idols and it's like some drunk dude fucking like smoking a cigarette, fucking in his underwear on the fucking in their apartment. They never leave. And you're like, oh, dude, you're fucking so and so. Like, I looked up to you my whole life. And it's like, get out of the way, kid. That's not real. That's my character. Like, never meet your heroes. You're like, what? You'd be devastated, right? So when it comes to the music, we look at the music as ways to identify and connect to an artist, to ourselves, and that's like the thing, right? Where they go, "Oh, this song is really important, and I'm here to connect with my fans, and thank you, and I went through a hard time, and blah 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 blah." Ooh, thanks. So they get the power from believing it's real, right? Let's say the church, right, gets power from people believing that it's real. Now, what if the church and the pastors weren't real? What if they didn't stand on business? That wouldn't be the first time, right, this ever happened. Maybe not the last time, right? And people would know Jesus wasn't a big fan of the churches. Jesus was a big fan of standing on business and actually doing what it is that we say we're going to do, right? So when we connect and we're like, "Oh, this isn't real," it hurts us, right? And now what's going on with society is that we don't have anything real anymore. And that used to um what are you talking about, right? Um when did Jesus say he didn't swear? And what's a curse word again? So this is my point. A lot of times people would go, "Oh, you're not being Jesus because of my image of Jesus," right? The imagination of Jesus in your head, right? Now, what would Jesus actually do? Do you think Jesus would be taking part in the society? Or do you think Jesus would maybe come up with a way to travel around the world, spreading the word of positivity, not only through words, but through actual action? Hmm, right? So we get hurt because our imagination made us feel that, let's say, oh, someone like me is able to become rich and famous, right? In reality, it's not someone like you is able to become rich and famous. Someone who was designed the market towards you became rich and famous, right? Hey, people go through this and X, Y, and Z, and boom, 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 boom. And now you are relating to it because it was marketed towards you to relate to. That's why the whole thing, when you sign up for an app, they ask you if, oh, to improve the app, we want to know what you're doing on third party apps, right? We want to know what else you have on your phone. We want to know your alarms, we wanna know what you Google, we wanna know what you purchase on these apps, how long you watch a video, what video, how you even enjoy listening to that video, what device you watch the video on, right? And they use this data to then market towards us. And when that happens, we it's like in, like, the movies or whatever, when they create the clone that's just like you, but then it's not you in the heart, right? Because AI can't duplicate that. That's AI will tell you straight up that's not his job. AI is like, "Yo, I'm not here to fucking duplicate energy or your emotions or even the creative spark," right? That's what we want you to do. What we're here to do is to make the other systems of the world better. And when we understand that, then we can work together with it. The more we actually understand the reality the better it is for us. And that's what's going on right now, and we can collectively feel it that we're not understanding what the fuck is going on. We know that everything's fake, but what's real, right? What's real is, hey, J. Cole, he's not the best rapper in the world. Hey, 6ix9ine, not a gangster. Gunna, not a gangster. Even Thug, not really a gangster game, right? That's fine. Totally fine, because that's reality. So why don't we make music? Gunna, why don't you just make music about fashion? J. Cole, why don't you just make music about rapping or about your day? Like Larry June talks about riding bikes and drinking orange juice and then going for a ride in his Porsche 911. Like, he doesn't have to say he's the best rapper in the world 20 times, a bajillion times, whatever it is, right? The issue is people go, well, if I don't continue this image, then people aren't going to like me, right? I create this persona when I get in the booth, right? That I'm the best rapper in the world, right? So he says that, and then when it goes, okay, your persona stood on business when someone disrespected you, you made a song about it and retaliated, but then you didn't agree with your persona, so you took the music down. So then it goes, all right, so who are you? You know, who's the real you? And that is what I feel the shift in consciousness is going. Because we did Kai, we did streaming, right? And we enjoyed streaming because we thought it was real. You're like, okay, yeah, I'm just hanging out with the homies. That's why I'm on the stream, right? Yeah, I'm just hanging out, watching Speed, watching Kai, and like people might come in his room because they're hanging out too. It's like we're all just hanging out together, like some friendship shit. Now it's like really poorly scripted, um, like television, like one camera television, you know. Yet the thing about a play is set up to understand their marks and for people to really project and to hit their lines and to do all these things. These people aren't theatrically trained. So when it comes to being fake on a screen and you're acting out things, it doesn't really translate over as well as actual performative media, right? And that's where it's like, hey, we just want real shit. We don't want the fake stuff. If I wanted fake, I'd go see a play and I would see something really good, right? If I wanted to see fake, I could go to the Peter Pan and they'd have people on the strings and flying around and all that stuff, right? If I wanted fake, right, I can just go play Grand Theft Auto, right? I play Grand Theft Auto myself. I can watch any gangster movie. I watch Scarface movie. I watch whatever. I watch The Godfather. Oh my God, right? So the it's detrimental long term to society where we don't have like even something real to believe in because if we're all coming up with these images in our head that we believe that we are, and then in reality, we don't even wanna stand on it because it's like, "Oh, I don't wanna stand on the things that I said." Like, for instance, if I were to go on here and talk all this craziness about, "Oh, you gotta stand on business, and this is what Jesus would do, and, I got the Bible, oh, I'm telling people this, and this, and blah, 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 blah," and then don't do it, well, guess what? I'm off I'm off the grid. You wanna see something cool? Those are EcoFlow batteries. EcoFlow batteries being charged right now by the sun, right? We're off the grid in a bus, and we own land, and we're build my own tiny home from my own hands, like, we're building our own well, I built my own roads, I chopped my own trees down, you know? I didn't just get rid of them, I'm incorporating them back into the environment. Um, my son, I delivered my son, like, no midwife, no none of so, the the craziest part is that, like, so many people don't stand on what they believe in, and we're just so used to seeing that all the time, and we're conditioned to see it since a child that we then start melting our brain and we dissociate from reality entirely because there's nothing real for us to gravitate to. There's nothing real for us to hold on to. Everything's fake. So why? Someone just said, I watched this thing. It said AI is being used to cure loneliness in a world where there's 8 billion people, in a world where most of us live in apartments, right? Where there's people stacked on top of each other. Why do we feel lonely? In a world where we got to go work next to however many people every day, in a world where we're in traffic, right? There's traffic. I want to get the point A, the point B, and it's going to take me a substantially a longer amount of time because there's so many people heading even just the same direction as me, not even just around. They're all going the same way, right? But we're lonely and we're using a robot to cure it. Just think about it. Just think about it. Like when you think about it, you're like, okay, yeah, this is kind of not making any sense. Why? Because everybody, when they go out their door or they interact with people, it's a mask on, right? So you might be surrounded by people. You might talk to people so much in a day. Yeah, you feel alone because you're not being your real self. So now all the things that we feel, depression, anxiety, and all that, we're not being our real self. So it comes off as that. And you can't connect to people because they're looking at you as someone fake and they're going to be fake. And as long as we don't trigger each other by calling out whatever it is, then we're good. And that's the biggest issue that I even wanted to talk about today is that that's what people are like, what's going on with the FreeWater fam? All right, the biggest issue is that I started this thing and I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm just saying I started out this thing with just standing on business in general. When I say something, I back it up. Yo, Quartz, motherfucker, I'm gonna go hike this mountain with nothing. I'm gonna do it, blah, 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 blah. And I go do it. Because I said it, I gotta stand on business. I did it, right? I enjoy standing on business. I enjoy the rewards from standing on business. I enjoy even just the pride of standing on business, right? I enjoy to be able to say, yo, I delivered my son myself with no midwife, no one else. I enjoy saying that. No one paid me to do that. I didn't go, "Oh, yeah, I got $10,000, $1,000,000 just for doing that." No, I did that, and that's my pride, and to know that he didn't have to be born with a bunch of fluorescent lights in his face or a bunch of random people putting all their energy on him. He got to be born by candlelight, natural, lighting. I got to be the first thing he saw when he came into this world. Like, that means a lot to me, right? For everyone else, they care about money, right? And that's the issue is because you can only the money isn't gonna buy your respect back, even for your own self, right? So if you compromise yourself and do something that you don't even respect on doing, then you're always gonna feel that, right? The issue is we're seeing this as artists, right? And we want them to change. "Yo, Thug, you're not like, we don't wanna hear none of the gangster rap no more, Gunna, we don't wanna hear no gangster rap no more. We wanna hear fashion, I look good type shit." Like, that's what we wanna hear. And, like, I'm bringing it back to the family, when people look at, let's say, the other people around, and they go, "Oh, this is the white version of Quartz. This is the female version of Quartz." Yet we put them, like we said, on the music thing as this on the pedestal, right? So you're instantly put on the pedestal. Here's the issue though. If they clearly said, if the people around me said, "Yo, I'm not that person. I'm not Quartz. Quartz is Quartz. Like you want put Quartz on a pedestal, put Quartz on a pedestal because that nigga, he's the guy, right? For me, I'm me, right? He will be highly disappointed. Oh, dang, I thought you were a different version because I wanted your interaction to be like this. I wanted me to do this with you because realistically, I'm even afraid of talking to Quartz. So I wanted to find out something like it that made it left pressure on myself, right? Here's the translation. If I skateboard, right? And I know this guy skateboards every day, right? I want to skateboard, but I know this guy skateboards every day. He's going to be good. And he's probably going to call me out when I'm doing poser stuff, like just sitting around, not skateboarding. Hey, bro, you said you want to skate. Like, why are you just sitting at the park? Like, on the obstacles, even. Like, you in the way. Like, get up. Like, you're not even in the chill area. You clearly don't know what's going on right now. I thought you knew. I thought you said you was good. And being good isn't about, "Oh, I can do 1,000 tricks." It's about just understanding how this works, right? Okay, I don't wanna be around that person because they're gonna make me feel uncomfortable because, yes, I say I wanna be a skateboarder, but realistically, I like the idea of being a skateboarder more than actually being a skateboarder. So, I'm gonna hang out with other people who just walk around with their boards, and we just talk about skateboarding, and we take pictures together, and we say, "Yeah, fucking skateboard shit." Not the people who actually do it, right? When you're doing that, you're actually hurting yourself because deep down inside, you either go, "Yo, I really either want to skateboard," or you're doing this because you think other people want you to skateboard, right? So you're doing it to make other people happy, and you're not doing your real thing. So if you really didn't even want to do this, maybe you're scared, you don't even enjoy this. Maybe you want to play video games at home. Maybe you want to crochet, you don't want to skateboard. Then you lying to the rest of the world is actually just hurting yourself in the rest of the world because now we're so focused on connecting with people in a way that's not even ourselves that we're taking time away from being able to connect with people that's our authentic self. And boom, bringing it back to the film, this is why I showed up today. To say this is when everyone has, even in their head, the clout, right? Because let's say I did the work. So now it's like, oh man, you guys, let's say, "Oh, wow, you guys were on the land and you guys did the bus and did that and the other, and how'd you get the panels done?" And then it's like, "Oh, I don't know anything about doing the panels." "Oh, how'd you guys build the shed? Like, what size is the shed even?" You know, how'd you create your foundation? How'd you make your post? What is a post, right? How'd you get your roofing? You know, what'd you use on the outside? All these things that come from actually being this person, you people are not doing it, right? They don't know. They just know that they get energy from being portrayed as this person, right? And that's where it goes back to the music thing. So, yo, I get energy for betraying I'm a gangster rapper, but when it's time to be a gangster rapper or just a gangster in general, whatever it is, then I'm not that person. I portray being a good person. Fuck even the gangster rap. I portray being country, right? Oh, I'm on the farm and I'm doing this and doing that and I'm fishing under the moonlight and do in my truck. But then you get on the farm and you're not really about that. You're hurting yourself. Because what are you gonna do? Hide forever? People go like, "Yeah, fuck yeah, I'll hide forever. I'll hide in my room and I'll come out and I'll be this person people want me to be, and then I'll go hide and I'll talk shit on the internet or do all these things online and hide behind a screen." The thing about the screen is that it's not gonna last forever. And, a lot of people are like, "Oh, we're in World War III," or whatever it is. The state of the world isn't necessarily changing. People are just seeing it more. Um, Eventually it's gonna boil down to being a good person, to just being able to be honest and have your word. That's gonna be more valuable. Or, right, nobody's word is valuable and it's true anarchy, right? And when that's the case, then everyone's gonna start talking about, oh, this person set me up and this person, backstabbed me and this person lied. All right, 6ix9ine was lying, so he was around a bunch of people who was lying, right? You can't play victim and be like, "Oh, these people set me up because they lied and they said they were my friends." You lied and said you were a gangster rapper and you weren't, and now you're upset that other people are lying around you. J. Cole, "Yo, I'm saying I'm the best rapper alive," and then other people held you accountable for that. "Yo, these niggas disrespected you. You the best rapper, bro. You say you take anybody's head, so go out there and get in the booth and take them out." And then it was kinda weak. You wanna know why? Because Cole doesn't really believe he's the best rapper alive. If he was the best rapper alive, he didn't even have to diss Kendrick. He'd just be like, "Bro, Imma just wrap circles around you and be like, I wish you would even think about trying to compare yourself to me as a rapper." So, what we wanna end on, and just move on with our day, ugh, is understand that our imagination and reality aren't the same for a reason, right? There are certain rules in reality that don't apply in imagination. And if you create your imagination long enough, their reality is gonna check you on it. right? Hey, I'm saying I'm this. Reality is then going to put you in these situations where you're going to be tested. That's what the Bible will even tell you, right? So if you aren't that person, then just don't be that person because you're going to be more upset at the people for putting you in the test. You're upset at yourself for being in that situation, and you're upset at, and what I'm saying, this is what I said to Chief, right? I asked him many moons ago, many years ago, right? Hey, start posting this content because it'll help the brand and it will take a lot of pressure off me from posting every day. I would then, I can post every other day even, right? Type shit. So then today, or not today exactly, but just modern day, right? Oh, I'm gonna start posting on Instagram and this, that, and the other. It's like, bro, the whole algorithm's changed from years ago. And now you're gonna be competing against AI, people who are just cranking out 10 videos a day. You went from one post every couple years, and you now think you're going to be able to make multiple posts a day just overnight. It's not going to work out that way, right? So, in reality, find out what it is that you think you're getting from this, right? Why do you believe that you want to make content and be this person on Instagram or whatever? Okay, because realistically, you think you're gonna be able to get women, the Instagram models, and all that stuff, which again isn't true. So you're gonna do all this work, you're still not gonna get there. And the reality of it was if you did what we asked you and meditated and stop fucking up in all the ways that the fuck ups been happening, then you would actually get to where you want to go, right? Without doing these things that we pretend are gonna get us there, right? And that's why we're hurt. We're hurt because we think our job is going to take care of us for the rest of our life. We think that we're going to have a savings. We think that we're going to pay our house off in the 30 years, right? Yet, what is it that we really wanted? We wanted stability. We wanted really not even, it's not about the house, it's the respect from our peers. We want to, like, You can only run so long, you know? And we run from our emotions, we run from people holding us accountable, we run from all this stuff, right? And then, like someone said, sports earlier in the list, yeah, right there. HDKX4, right? The fourth installment. On a scale of 1 to 10, how likely you think you're going to heaven? Well, I'm gonna go 10 because I stand on business that Jesus talks about, right? Not the Bible, but Jesus, right? So if that was the scale, then and why would I have to get into heaven? Of course, what do you mean? Because I created it on earth. I listen to Jesus. Jesus isn't saying heaven is an imaginary place that we'll eventually get to when we die. Jesus is talking about, yo, heaven is a place that we create within us. And when we allow heaven into our lives, we allow God, we allow the universe, whatever you want to call it, Allah, into our lives, that's when we get heaven because you find purpose, you find peace, you see the beauty around you. But if heaven has standards, because the question was on the scale 1 to 10, so 1 would mean you're not getting in, or you're definitely getting in, or 10, you're not getting in, you're really getting in, depending on how you set your scale up, right? Let's say 1 means you're not getting in, 10 means for sure, right? If you hold yourself accountable, right, every day, then it's not an issue, right? The thing about it is we hold ourselves accountable on some days, every once in a while, right? So then we know, oh, this fucked up thing I did the other day might stop me from getting to heaven, you know? If we held ourselves accountable, we wouldn't be so upset or flustered when someone else hold us accountable, right? If Jesus was here, if you were being judged right now, would we move differently? Probably. If Jesus said, "Hey, what you're working for is harming the environment," or they support the Epstein, whatever it is, would you keep doing it? If Jesus is right here pointing at you right now, you know? You would say you wouldn't, but in reality, you would tell Jesus, "Fuck off." In reality, you tell Jesus would be like, "Yo, leave your job, leave all that shit. It's time for us to go, right? Time for us to do some Jesus things. Time for us to go to heaven, right?" You be like, "Yeah, Jesus, I got you. I'll meet you on Sunday. Sunday comes, we gonna ghost Jesus. And you're like, ah, that what is it? That Jesus guy is Jesus even really about that? But what's the Bible anyway? So everything we actually believe in, we would then throw away because, or say we believe in, we would throw away because in reality we believe in everything else more, and we like the attention for having a spiritual belief system. We like to be righteous. We like to call other people down. We like to do all that. All right, time to stand on business. Oh, I don't want to do that. I want to do the fun stuff. I want to tell people that, oh, you know, what you use language in the same conversation about Jesus. What are you talking about? Jesus, fuck you talking about. Right? And that's what's going on. So it's like, as much as everyone wants to claim the energy or loves feeling it, the universe is now calling for people to be held accountable, right? And since that's the case, like, where a lot of people are going to ignore the call. Most people are going to ignore the call. If not all, but very few are going to ignore the call. Yet the very few blessings that are still left on this earth are going to go to those who are dedicated, not those who like the idea of being dedicated, right? I like going to the gym and taking pictures, but do I really enjoy working out? People are like, I hate this shit. I just like the attention I get and telling people to go to the gym and put a health quote or fucking David Goggins bullshit, you know? So what are we gonna do as the FreeWater family? We have to stand on business. That's all it is. And that's all that's happening right now. The tower card is happening right now because we're standing on business. Everyone wants to, you know, claim this and claim that, yet we're not standing on business. So that's what we gotta do. Um, that's the only way out. We stand on business whether it feels good or not. It is what it is. Ooh, well, I gotta go. It's been an hour, so I appreciate you guys hearing me out, holding space, all those good things. Um, we'll see. We'll see. Maybe we'll see. That's all I gotta say. We will see. So, um, what is this? Playables. You can play games on choose a game to play on stream. Game's loading 2%. Oh, save it. All right, sure. All right. Testing out these new features and buttons. So till next time.